Hello and welcome to this Sustainability is the Key webinar, how to unlock your organisation's potential to deliver tender success. In this session, we're going to talk about the NHS England Evergreen Sustainable Supplier Assessment. If you want information on NHS Net Zero, carbon reduction plans, social value or modern slavery, then please see some of our other webinars. My name's Sarah Joy Newton. I'm an adult and paediatric qualified nurse by background and also spent many years as a medical sales representative. Nowadays, I'm an experienced tender bid writer with an expertise in public procurement requirements with a speciality of sustainability in tenders. That includes social value, modern slavery and carbon footprint calculation. So in summary, the NHS England Evergreen Sustainable Supplier Assessment is now a mandatory requirement for many, if not all, suppliers to the NHS. So in this session, we're going to look at who has to complete it, why and what's its purpose, how to access it, what is required to complete it. Evergreen was launched in June 2023 by NHS England. It's an online self-assessment questionnaire for suppliers to complete. It's designed to be a single reporting tool, so suppliers have one route for data sharing with the NHS on their sustainability milestones. NHS Supply Chain have made this mandatory for all suppliers. It was required by February 24 that all current suppliers had to have completed Evergreen. Any suppliers bidding on any new frameworks will have to complete Evergreen within 3 months as part of the tendering process. And they now no longer require suppliers to complete the carbon waste and water reduction assessment as a result. The NHS England Medicines Framework made it mandatory from the 1st of January 2024, and it's a pass-fail tender requirement. They also require a carbon reduction plan as mandatory from April 2024. To access the Evergreen assessment, you register on Amethyst, and the link is here on the screen for that. In the assessment, the components cover the supplier's progress around net zero, social value, modern slavery, and there are 4 maturity levels. The maturity levels will be valid for 12 months, so must be completed yearly, and significant updates can be made at any time. To achieve a level 1, you need a carbon reduction plan in place. If you have a carbon reduction plan in place, then you will achieve a level 1. Just to clarify, the compliance at the moment is to complete Evergreen. If you score a level 0 and have completed Evergreen, that is deemed to be compliant at this moment. A level 1, if you have a carbon reduction plan and it's published on your website, then this will give you compliance for level 1. If you then want to go beyond level 1 up to level 2 and progress through the maturity matrix, you need your carbon reduction plan. You also need your net zero target and emissions provided for your scope 1, 2 and all of your relevant scope 3 emissions. So you need to review all 15 categories of scope 3, see which ones are relevant to your organisation and make sure that you have recorded the emissions for those. You must have a public modern slavery statement, and you must also have a corporate social value programme in place to support the delivery and management of contractual level agreements. This includes mapping your social value programme against the social value model and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. To achieve level 3, you need all the elements of level 1 and level 2, plus you need to have a net zero target and emissions provided of your global boundary. Still, your target year needs to be by 2050. You then need to go on and independently verify your emissions reported, and you need to do that through a Carbon Disclosure Project approved organisation. You also need to independently validate your emissions targets provided, and you need to do that through the Science Based Target Initiative. You also need to have completed the Modern Slavery Assessment Tool, the MSAT. To achieve a level 4, you need all elements of scopes levels 1, 2 and 3, plus you also need to have a target for net zero across all scopes by 2045. You need to have independently validated emissions targets provided by the global reporting entity. You also need to be recognised as a high performer via global sustainability reporting platform, for example, CDP, EcoVadis or B Corp. You also need to be identifying and mitigating modern slavery risks, at least in one of the following. You need to actively be taking steps to map your supply chain and actively investigating incidents and mitigating high risks found. So just in summary, for a compliance around tendering with the NHS, you need to complete Evergreen, and you just need to score that level 0 by completing it. You need a level 1 is your carbon reduction plan, and it's mandatory for most suppliers to have a carbon reduction plan. So most of you should be able to get a level 1. In terms of progressing up the matrix and the maturity levels, then there is at the moment no specific mandatory requirements to do that in any time frame, but it's just good for that competitive advantage and that competitive edge. So for more information on how you can increase your maturity level and go through the maturity matrix scoring higher in Evergreen, then please contact me, Sarah at amethystconnect.co.uk, and we would be delighted to help speak to you about your sustainability journey.